Well, welcome back to the van build, and this episode has something to do with why I'm under the van and this big black box next to me. So it's fitting the grey tank for the sink and for the shower waste when it's not in the recirculating system to go to. And generally this is where I'm going to fit it here, which is sort of along the driver's side of the van. The opposite side is where I'm going to be putting the LPG tank. So that's this episode's plan. More drilling holes in the van. Right, so fitting a grey water tank, never done it before. Watch videos. Just going to take bits and bobs I like from different videos and do it. So the tank itself, I've gone for a 55 litre tank. Just for reference, my freshwater is 70 and my hot water is 18. Big access hatch. This is the access hatch is actually going to be underneath, so if you ever need to clean it out, unscrew the access hatch so I can reach inside. And well, let's see what's inside. The tank itself is 20 centimeters by about 1 meter something. If my measuring tape's in here, which is not. Lengthways, I have plenty of room under the van. It's the height, so I went for a 20 centimeter tank, so the skirt of the van is still lower down than the tank itself when it's pushed up against the chassis underneath. So underneath we've got some clear hose. We've got 20mm waste tube and meter. I've actually got some more of this. This is going to be from the plug hole on my sink, which has got a 20mm outlet. We've got bulkhead fitting for the 20mm outlet. We've got I think this is going to be 3/8 inch flexi tube. This is the breather pipe. So when you put water in it, the pressure can basically relieve. When you're filling the volume of that with liquid, the air can go elsewhere. The breather pipe. Anything else in it? Oh, something else. And then a tap itself, so we can empty the tank. That's what the actual tank itself is. I'm also going to put a 15mm bulkhead fitting in it as well for the shower, which is going to join to it. Actually mounting it, the sort of difficult bit, is I've basically made up what a lot of kits come with. These hooks are going to hook into holes in the chassis. There are some already existing. I might just have to widen them a wee bit. So the tank's suspended like that. Right, that's the other way up. And then I'm going to use this steel I got cheaply from Homebase nearby, which is 30mm by 2mm. I'm going to bend it into some straps, put some bolt holes in, and then tighten those up with 9-lock nuts to hold the tank in place, and it will be held in by basically the threads pulling up this as hard as it can, pushing the tank into the bottom of the van. I'll put some padding on these straps as well. And we've got 3 of those. So first off, what I need to do is install all of the different fittings. And I need to remember that if the tank is going to be like that, I want the output fittings to be low down and reachable from underneath, and the fittings going in, so where the wastewater comes in, to be sitting high up. So I guess I better get measuring. Well, I might actually draw on the tank so I know which side to put holes and so on. Pen, where have you gone? Right, as I would rather not cock this up. Top that way. Front of van. Side. So I want most of my filling holes to be on the back end of it. Do I? Is that what I want? Probably, yeah. Right, now I need to figure out what size holes these take, so I'm going to get my hole board. I have to admit, I found making this extremely useful. So just taking a bunch of my hole saws and making holes with them. So I have a little testing when you're doing lots of fittings, you can see what goes where, or what's going to fit and what's not. So 25mm, if I wiggle it around a bit, will probably be good for that one. So let's write that on. 25mm. 28mm for the shower fitting. 20mm for the breather. The breather will also act as if I do overflow it, I think naturally liquid would come out a bit as well. Oh. Well, that certainly didn't go to plan. The pilot bit in the hole saw sheared, snapped off, and then I smashed into that and ground some deep sexy grooves. Right, found a new pilot bit and fixed it. Not ideal. Right, not necessarily end of the world, I just got to probably be a little bit more careful on this now. Doesn't look great because the bit went a bit skew, but that's only like the first mil or 2mm of the plastic, when actually the plastic's probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5mm. So it just looks messy and I just have to tidy it up. The other thing is the ceiling bit is on the inside, not the outside. Right, the plan is to see if I can heat this up enough so I can just bend these out a bit. It's not galvanised, so don't breathe the smoke. So, for melting the grey water tank, I'm going to utilise some existing holes in the chassis already, like here and here. At the minute, these don't fit in, so I'm just going to widen them up with, I think, an 8mm or 10mm drill bit. All being well, there we go. Fixed very nicely. So I'll seal them up, so that's one of the brackets sorted. Time to drill the other holes now. So for this side I'm going to use this all-threaded bar. Through that hole I'm going to drill a hole in the top so I can, and then put a bolt through it so I can hang them off there, clamp it on there and screw the bolt the bracket to there, then up around the corner of it to there. And that should do a pretty good job at holding it up. So, time to drill some more holes in the chassis. Right, so this is how this side's going to work. There's some pre-existing holes here and I've just drilled holes into the top. So I made some shorter hooks with some all thread. Mainly as the hooks I had on this side are just too long. So you put it in the top hole, comes out the bottom hole, hangs there, and then the steel strap obviously just goes on there. That gets bolted down nice and tight. Tank's in place, this gets bent up, and then bent out again and cut off, and that bolts to the other hook, and then tighten it all up really. So I've just put some hammerite on all of the holes I've drilled just to protect the metal a wee bit. The other thing I've done is I don't really want the metal straps rubbing against the tank, so I've just bought some inner tubes cut the inner tubes open, and I'm just going to thread them on, and that will act as like a little, well, guard and stop any chafing between the metal strap and the plastic tank. As I don't own a metal vise or a brake or anything to bend it, I'm just going to heat it up again and bend it that way. Right. Happy with the first bracket. I'm just going to do a test fit with the sleeve on. Right, so I'm going to start the process of permanently fixing the bolts in. I will shorten them in the long run. So the inner tube should be a nice little bit of padding against the... So I'm just going to cut some little holes in the bottom of these so they aren't waterproof, so any water or moisture will just get in, doesn't stay and hit the tube, and it can get out over time. Right, it's time to actually get these mounted. Right, all of these are in place. So I guess let's just try and get the tank in position. Probably a lot easier said than done. Right, it's now time for the nerve-wracking task of putting the hole in for the waste. So it's been a couple of hours since I last filmed, but all I've been doing is effectively just drilling holes through the bottom of the van to run the pipes. So I've drilled a hole for the waste pipe from the sink. Not actually connected it up yet. And I've just been sorting out this one here, which is for the shower. So when the shower recirculating system's not on, or when the recirculating system's on, it gets sucked up this pipe. And this is a normally open 12 volt valve. So when the shower system's turned on, that activates and closes that, which means water can only be sucked up. And when the recirculating shower is off, it's open, which means water can drain through there and down the hole into the grey tank. So these were the only places I could drill the holes, and it is quite near the exhaust pipe for the diesel heater. So what I am going to do is I'm going to build a little heat deflector plate to just separate that and take any heat. These will all be pulled up away anyway, so they're not going to be near it, but I'm just going to build a little plate to just reflect any heat back. Well, welcome back to the van, and a few things look a bit different. There's a bed behind me. That's only a temporary bed. I've been away for 3 weeks selling Christmas trees, which is what I do every year, and that's now finished, so I can finally get in the Christmas spirit. So, activate Christmas protocol. Time for Christmas. Alexa, turn all the lights bright white.
Okay.
Alexa. Nothing. Let me give you an update. An actual one. Well, for starters, 3 weeks away in the van, we had a test drive all the systems. Brilliant. A bit unrelated to this video. But the shower, recirculating shower system is working fantastically. The temporary bed is good. This is where it's probably going to go normally. It's just going to fold up during the day into that area there. Seats have appeared, which weren't in the beginning of this video. And the grey water tank has been working fine, to be honest. When I've used the sink, water drains into it. I mean, the hard bit was mounting it. It wasn't so much figuring out how to make a sink drain. Arguably, that's just gravity. But that has all been working well. Only things I did need to work on was a drunk driver hit me when I was parked up one night, twice. So I needed a new number plate. My first car accident whilst being in the shower. That was an interesting one. But yeah, let's show you the rest of the van. So things I need to work on. Sink drains fine. This on the hand is a solenoid valve which doesn't work particularly well. It works well under pressure, but there's not really any pressure when it's just emptying what's in this sort of the shower recirculating tank. So I'm going to switch out for a ball valve, which is a far better type of valve to use for what I want. Sort of a drop empty the tank valve. Actual drainage system works quite well. If I can find where the tank is. So it's not too difficult just to reach under there. To open the tap. At this moment in time, this was the temporary plumbing I did before I left. I made a U-bend for the shower. I am going to have to replace this here as this is leaking. Probably I've done it in the wrong joint, so I'm just going to get a different joint for this. And this is my makeshift U-bend by just doing a swirl in it, which again seems to work. Things I might potentially want to change for this is the breather. It seems to be a little bit small, as it's very slow to drain sometimes in the sink. Well, that's pretty much going to sum up this video. The core of it being the way the tank is mounted to the underside of the vehicle. Not so much the plumbing, because that's a far easier bit and it's going to be different for everyone's van. But if you've got a Ford Transit of this style, where I've done it, it seems to be quite a reasonably good option for mounting a tank of that size without having to drill too many holes into the chassis or the van itself, and just enlarging some pre-existing ones. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.